Hey guys, welcome to the channel once again. This is a place where we talk about everything budgeting, saving, investing, and how to gain a future of financial freedom, a life of financial freedom. And I also talk about things to do with being in Australia. So if those are things that you like hearing or seeing, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification button so you don't miss another episode. So guys, I recently posted a vlog about the Queen Victoria building and the rock. So guys, if you haven't watched that, it's a refreshing sort of video, because of course I don't want us to seem so serious that we're always talking about money. We're trying to maintain a balance between living and being responsible with our money. So guys, today we'll be talking about a very juicy topic, and it's becoming quite common. I know a lot of people have heard about it, and that's just about ETFs, or exchange traded funds or index funds. So we'll be talking about that today, and guys, I hope you will learn something. And if you have any questions, of course, the comment section is always open. So let's get right into it. So what are exchange traded funds? It sounds like financial jargon. It sounds like, oh my god, what are those? Index funds. So an ETF, otherwise known as an exchange traded fund or index fund, is a basket of stocks that trades as a single stock. It tries to mimic or outperform the performance of an index. An index is a list, like let's say the S&P 500 index is a list of the top 500 companies in the US. So when you invest in an ETF, you're investing in a little bit of everything. You're buying Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Safaricom. You're buying a cocktail, as opposed to buying just single shares like Amazon, or you buy a single share of Nvidia, or you buy a single share. So when you buy an ETF, it allows you to invest in all, to have a little bit of everything. ETFs are good for people who want to explore the international markets. If you have watched previous videos, and maybe you have already invested in Kenyan stocks, the likes of Stanchart, the likes of NCBA, ABSA, KCB, Stanbic Bank, and now you want to spread your wings into the international markets, ETFs are good for you, and ETFs are the best thing that you can start investing in today. So the reason why ETFs are so powerful for beginners is because they allow for diversification, as we have talked about in previous videos, guys. As a smart investor, you need to diversify. You need to have a diversified portfolio, and ETFs allow you to diversify because you are investing in everything. You are investing in a little bit of everything. So they allow you to diversify, and obviously when you diversify, the risk is low. The risk balances, like let's say Amazon is performing well and Tesla is performing badly, the performance will be balanced. Like it will be balanced, as opposed to Tesla is doing badly and Tesla is the only shares you have. If it goes down, your money goes down. So diversification is one of the best things that ETFs offer, and yeah, they just provide you with a lower risk as opposed to buying a single stock. So the other thing is low entry cost, and this is good because you don't need millions, you don't need billions to invest in a company. ETFs are low cost because they allow for fractional investing. Fractional investing is where you can buy a fraction of a share. You don't have to buy a whole share, you don't have to buy 1,000 shares. You can buy a 0.5 share, and that's fractional investing. So that's why it's low cost, because you can start with as low as $5, and yeah, you start building from that, guys. The other thing is that they have a high accessibility. The only thing you need is a brokerage app, and then you start investing in ETFs, and they are available in almost everywhere, guys. So also, as we talked about, they're accessible because they are low cost, so they're not like those things that are only preserved for the rich. And that's the good thing about learning about these things, because you're like, wow, I thought the stock market is like so crazy. Like people talk about stock market in billions, so I don't think I can invest in that because I'm not rich yet. No, you need to invest in order to be rich, and this is how you start. The other good thing about ETFs is that they are transparent, because most ETFs are passively managed as opposed to active funds. Active funds is like where you pay a fund manager to be managing your ETFs or your funds, but most ETFs, since they are just mimicking the performance of a certain index, they are passively managed. Like, they don't need so much. That's why they're also the fees that they charge are not as high as actively managed funds. So the other good thing about ETFs is liquidity, and this, of course, this is just a good thing, because if you need to liquidify your money, if you need some instant cash, if you got an emergency, you are going to be able to sell your ETF or a part of your ETF in the market, as long as the markets are open. But guys, as we have talked about before, we are trying not to disrupt compound interest. So if you keep withdrawing, depositing, you're disrupting compound interest. But of course, if you need to withdraw because maybe you have an emergency or you just need the cash real quick, you can liquidify your money. The other good thing is that they offer an entry to the international markets, and you as an investor, you are contributing to the growth of the economy, the global economy, because you are investing your money in global companies. So they give you an entry to global markets, and that's just a good thing as an investor, because you are trying to, like, I remember when I was growing up, I used to wonder, like, how do people own investments in USA? How do people own investments in London and then Kenya? And this is one way that you can start investing, and you can go like that. You start finding yourself investing in other things like real estate. So guys, starting is what's important, and then you try be consistent in the journey. Okay, so as we've talked about, ETFs are common among people, among investors, among savvy investors. If you do your research, most savvy investors invest in ETFs. They have it in their portfolio, and some of the ETFs that you can start with as a beginner, one of them is VOO, which tracks the S&P 500. It's called the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. So this tracks the 500 biggest companies in the US economy, like Apple, Amazon, Google, Netflix. Like, it gives you exposure to all these companies. So it's like buying the entire US stock market. So VO is really good, actually. It's one of the ETFs that I'm currently investing in, and yeah, you can start with it if you're a beginner. The other one is VT, Vanguard Total World Stock ETF. If you want global exposure, this ETF invests in US and international markets, and it's perfect for long-term and hands-off investors. Like, sometimes you don't want to keep going back to your computer trying to track, trying to do what. That's a good thing about ETFs. They're passive. So as long as where you deposit your money at the end of the month, you buy your shares and you just leave it. You don't need to keep going on to the um going into your computer every day to try and trade, because most of us don't even know how to trade. So guys, ETFs are just good for hands off and passive investors. The other one is SPDR S&P growth ETF, for those who want a bit more focus on high growth companies within the S&P 500. It has a nice balance of risk and reward. This is another one that you can explore. You can explore VO, you can explore SPY. The other one is EEM, iShares MSI Emerging Markets ETF. If you want to add developing economies like China, India, Brazil, these add some spice to your portfolio. So these are 4 ETFs that can give you exposure to the international markets. And if you're in Kenya, most people are looking at the Absa New Gold ETF, which trades on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and it tracks gold prices. So it's a very good ETF. Just do your research, guys. This is not like a blueprint. Always research based on your goals and based on where you are right now. So the good thing about the ETFs we've talked about, they give you an exposure to like broad markets. It is not very often that ETFs perform badly, although there was ETFs were performing badly, the economy was performing badly like 2 months ago because of Trump, but ETFs always come back. So some of the platforms that you can use to buy ETFs as a beginner, personally I use Interactive Brokers. There's also Pala, there's E-Trade, there's Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, yeah, I said E-Trade. And Kenyan and African focused platforms include Hisa app, which is in Kenya, FX Pesa, Standard Investment Bank, eToro, which allows global fractional investing. Most of these platforms begin with as low as $5, which is 500 Kenyan shillings, but you also need to factor in the transaction cost. So guys, you can be saving like 500. When it reaches like 3k, you go buy your ETF. Don't be buying like small. You can buy, but also factor in the fees around it. When you buy like a bigger share, of course the fee is not as much as when you keep buying small. I don't know if you get my point. So the only thing you need to do is download the app, set up your account, verify your documents like ID, address, fund your account, because of course the funded accounts are usually approved faster. So you can fund your account with maybe $50 or 5k, and then start exploring. Go buy VO. You don't need to start buying all 5 ETFs. Now, what I do personally, I like focusing on like 2 ETFs. I know I'm consistently buying VO and maybe SPY, or VO and EVE. So guys, don't go spreading yourself so much again. Pick one ETF, pick 2, and then consistently fund your account, consistently buy the ETF. To wrap it up, investing doesn't have to feel overwhelming. It can be simple as picking a few ETFs, setting a small monthly amount, setting a standing order, and then let time and consistency do the magic. And of course, compound interest is gonna do the magic if you let it do it. Remember, slow progress is still progress. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just keep making progress. If this month you make more money, you can add on to your investments. If last month you didn't make more money, you can just continue investing the small amount you've been investing. So it's not a sprint, guys, it's a slow journey, but finally you will get there. So if today's video opened your eyes on ETFs or made you feel a bit more clear about ETFs, don't forget to subscribe. That helps the channel, that helps the growth of the channel, that helps other people get the videos. And also comment, give me your thoughts about what you think about ETFs. Is it something you would explore? And also, yeah, share to someone who wants to start the investment journey and they don't know where to start. This is a channel where they can start. You can basically learn how to start investing by just watching the videos here. So guys, if you want to go deeper and gain more clarity on your finances, I offer one-on-one clarity sessions. You can check the description box for the link, and I will see you next time. See you.